My front door was open and I was able to get there within seconds. And he had this cat in his jaws. And I leapt on top of the dog and I really had a very horrible struggle.
I mean, those dogs were my life, you know, and I lost them because of this.
3 times, to my knowledge, the dogs were out in the street.
Well, they left a note on my door saying they had been impounded. They just came to my house and took them.
That's completely unreasonable.
If you want to fight, I can get you boxing gloves, but we're not here for that. My first case ever with worms.
Come here, Sophie! Get him, Rusty!
Can I say something?
No. If she hadn't had an oral agreement, how do you do? I know you've both been sworn. I have read your complaint, sir. You claim that your cat was injured by the defendant's dog?
Correct, yes.
And when did this happen, sir?
This happened early in March.
You know the date?
I've forgotten, to tell you the truth.
February 14th, Valentine's Day,
February 14th?
supposedly.
It was February 14th, was it? Thank you.
Well, it's not early March, at any rate.
No, I'm sorry.
All right. And this is your cat that was
This
injured?
is the cat.
Were you present when it happened?
Well, about 2 seconds afterwards, it happened on my front porch. Miss Falcone's dog
What kind of
suddenly
dog
appeared.
What kind of dog was it?
I believe it was cross
Malamute.
between.
Pardon?
Malamute.
What do you mean it was?
Malamute mix. It was because they were both put down due to this.
Who put them down?
The Humane Society or the animal shelter?
Animal control.
There were 2 dogs.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the mother dog suddenly was on my front porch. Fortunately, my front door was open and I was able to get there within seconds. And he had this cat in his jaws. And I leapt on top of the dog and I really had a very horrible struggle to undo these huge jaws off this poor screaming cat. Eventually, I was able to. And the dogs...
Had you seen her dogs before?
Never, no.
How did you know they were her dogs?
Well, I didn't know that until about a week later.
Well, how did you find out?
Well, because I was out in front of my house about a week later, and I heard dogs barking, and I saw her 2 dogs chasing traffic along the main street. So I jumped in my car, and I followed them. And I cornered them eventually and got them into my car. And then I called animal control, and they had tags on with this young lady's address on the tags. That's where I finally knew where they came from.
Did you talk to her about it?
No, because no, she wasn't there.
At any time, did you talk to her?
I have later, yes.
Yeah, that's
later.
what I mean. When?
Yes, I have, yeah.
When?
I think it was about a week later, because I sent a certified letter with copies of all these bills.
Which I never got. And he has a signature. I never got a certified letter.
Do you have a signature?
I have a signature.
Let me see.
And he showed me that, but
It's not your signature?
no, not at all.
Anyone living living at your house?
No, but he did send me a second letter, and well, his second letter was the first letter I had gotten, and he was quite upset because I hadn't responded and thought that I was lying, saying that I did receive it. And I never got that letter, so that was the first letter I'd ever gotten. This is pictures of my dogs that were put down, and then pictures of my backyard.
Did animal control indicate to you why your dogs were put down?
Well, I came home from work and there was a letter on my door saying that both of my dogs had been impounded, and they had just taken them from my backyard. And every day I leave my house and when I come home, I talk to my dogs. So I never ever do I remember coming home and them not being there. I mean, they've been there.
Where did you keep them?
In my backyard.
Is this the fence? This wooden
Yeah,
fence?
exactly.
How high is it?
I'm sorry?
How high is it?
I believe 7 feet.
Is that a question mark or is it 7 feet?
Approximately 7 feet.
Okay.
I don't know, I've misplaced it, I'm afraid.
Talking about this here.
Is there a gate?
No,
Yes, there is a
it's
gate
card.
right there. It's the long picture, the tall one. That's the gate,
seat.
and it's hard. There's no way that they can get over. There's like a voltage. You know how the dogs, if they jump over, they'll get volted or like electrocuted, kind of.
You keep them in the yard all day when you're away at work?
Yes.
How did you know that? How did you figure the Humane Society got them?
Well, they left a note on my door saying they had been impounded. They just came to my house and took them. The address, I don't know, but he had
don't know
already
where they got
contacted
them.
me.
The dogs were out. They weren't in her house, in her yard. 3 times, to my knowledge, the dogs were out in the street. And
my
animal
knowledge, none.
control will confirm that.
Do you have anything from animal control, sir?
Not from animal control, no.
Do you have a vet report and bills?
I do. Okay.
Someday I'm going to get litigants to do me a big favor.
What's that?
Have vet reports, doctor's reports, translated into English so that I can read them.
I know, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing was, the cat was in terrible shock. So I rushed him straight to pet emergency.
No, I appreciate that.
That huge
And
bill.
the original notes are very important, but I'm saying I like them translated so that I can read them.
I'm
But
sorry.
at any rate, yes,
You know,
ma'am.
it just so happens that I remember that day very clearly because it was Valentine's Day, and I work about 6 blocks from my work. Well, when I got home, like I say, I talked to my dogs. When I get home, when I leave the house, and when I got home on Valentine's Day, it was about probably 11:30, almost midnight.
Were the
and
dogs there?
Yes. And so I just don't understand how they could have been out that day, and then, like, who put them back in there? Because if they were to get out of the yard, somebody who puts them back in there is just going to get right back out, right? If they got out, if they busted out the fence.
How do you know it was Valentine's Day?
Because in the letter he had stated on February 14th.
You said you had a
remember that,
copy
yeah.
of that letter?
I just didn't want to bring a bunch of, well, yeah, actually. Right here.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add?
I believe, no.
You, sir?
Well, I'm terribly sorry that the dogs were put down, but she neglected to get them out of the pound.
Oh, no, that's
I wrote her a
ridiculous.
letter, and I said there are a number of animal organizations that would assist you financially. And she wrote back and poo-pooed that whole idea and called me a jerk,
That is
which is written in the letter.
Oh, God, no way. They were impounded, I got them out, and it cost me like $80, whatever. A second time they were impounded, I couldn't afford it. I didn't realize that I was taking his word for it. I did not know how they were getting out. I'd done everything. I put up a redwood fence, that voltage thing. I mean, what more could I do? I thought that they were getting out somehow, and I didn't want to bring them back. I didn't have the money to continue to keep getting them out. Every time they get impounded, they charge you another $30 to $50 just because they were impounded 24 months previous to that. So, I mean, those dogs were my life, you know, and I lost them because of this. So that's total baloney that, you know, I called him a jerk because of the letters he's written me. He hasn't been very nice to me, and I've been very nice to
Well,
him.
they're nothing to what you've written to me, my dear.
Well, I have a copy of every letter we've, like,
Well,
and you can decide.
let me just decide that they're not relevant.
Exactly.
Okay. We'll take a short recess.
problem.
I'll come
Thank
back
you.
give you my decision.
I haven't hurt my animal. Why would I want my animal to be blind?
She first called me and told me that the puppy was blind. It was almost 30 days after she had the puppy. She's claiming that I'm a backyard breeder, and I'm not.
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
We have an eyewitness of the attack by the defendant's dogs on the plaintiff's cat. He later saw the same dogs running loose on the street, picked them up, took them into the impound facility, apparently. So the defendant's defense is that this was fenced in and her dogs couldn't have gotten out. But at least on 2 occasions, and I think he said 3, the plaintiff saw them out. And they were put down by the Humane Society. This is not done lightly.
Excuse me, it was animal control.
Pardon me, animal control. All right. But
A whole different kettle of fish.
well, it's maybe a kettle of cats, too. I don't know.
Well,
But at any rate, I accept what you said.
thank you.
Okay. The defendant is responsible because of the dogs being off the leash, also because of trespass by her animals to plaintiff's property. Judgment is for plaintiff for $802.
Well, for one, I think she could have put a padlock on the gate if the gate was being opened. But according to her ex-boyfriend, the dogs broke out on a piece of rotten fence next to a neighbor. And then Ms. Falcone told me that in a letter that her ex-boyfriend had been letting them out. Then she told me that the kids up the street were letting them out. So I really don't know whether that's responsible or not, quite honestly.
What I thought was happening was that my ex-boyfriend, I had broke up with him, I thought maybe he had let him out. Then I found, telling the neighbor that, the neighbor told me that some kids were doing that. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to make excuses, so he made a good decision, I'm sure.
Well, the dog had the cat in its mouth, and it was on my front porch. Fortunately, my front door was open, and I was there in seconds. And I really had to fight the dog to get his jaws open. And this poor creature took off. I thought his leg was broken, but he was in terrible shock.
I'm glad that he's okay.
Yeah, he had a very rough time. A week of him almost dying. I had to force feed him and do a lot of work. Apart from myself never having a nervous breakdown trying to get that huge dog off him.
The Animal Court is now in session. The Honorable Joseph A. Wapner, Judge presiding.
I know you've all been sworn. I've read your complaint, ma'am. You claim that you purchased a dog from the defendant.
Yes.
And it was defective,
Yes, she's blind.
blind.
Yes.
How long, when was the date of purchase?
Okay, the date of purchase that I actually went and picked her up was the 22nd of January. I had put down a down payment on her.
Okay. And how much was the purchase price?
Purchase price was $325.
And when did you first discover that the dog was blind?
Within the first couple of days, I noticed her eyes looked irregular, and I took her for her checkup at the doctor's. But then as days went by, I just noticed that she was just like going in circles and running into things, and I thought she was just a baby and didn't focus. But then when I snuck up on her and I would make a noise, she'd turn in circles and lay back down, and I realized that she could hear good, but she couldn't see me. And not to a flashlight either did she respond.
You took her to a vet?
And then I took her back to the vet. I called Valerie on the 17th, and I told her that I had an appointment
17th
on
of
February, that I felt like she was probably blind. And she said to me, well, it's something that I had to have done. And I said, I haven't hurt my animal. Why would I want my animal to be blind? I wouldn't want her to be blind. And so then I said,
Well, it wouldn't have to be purposeful. It could be negligent in some way.
Right.
Something may have happened.
Right. So, but when I'm not with her, she's always in her crate, and she's always observed. So I knew that nothing had happened to her.
You took her to a vet?
I took her to the vet, and then I took her back to Valerie's as she requested for them to look at it. And the note that I have from the vet saying that she failed the obstacle course and that she was blind.
She's claiming that I'm a backyard breeder, and I'm not. My dog had puppies, and I went ahead and sold the puppies. I mean, it was her first litter, and
Was there anything in writing when you sold the puppies?
No, there was nothing in writing. I don't have papers on them. They're just purebred, and I told her that when she first came, or when she first called me and told me that the puppy was blind, it was almost 30 days after she had the puppy. And I told her that I would take the puppy back and return her money.
And
she
said you didn't have
want
any
to.
more puppies. I said
That's
I would
right, because
I'd like at least half my money back.
You wanted half your money, but I offered to refund you the full.
No, you
full,
didn't.
Yes, I
No,
did.
you
I
never
offered to
did.
refund you full money if you want to bring the puppy back. You said you didn't want to bring the
no,
puppy back.
you never
That
did.
you
were
wanted your
attached.
money, and you were attached, and that you wanted half the money. Well, and she kept referring to the puppy as being defective.
I
and
said that it's reasonable.
Like,
I
well,
said
I'll
it's
take the puppy
reasonable.
back.
Excuse me. Let's stop this. The point is that the eye clinic doctor says that the optic nerve hypoplasia is a congenital anomaly of ocular development. In other words,
I don't know what that is.
well, it simply means that it got it from its parents. It was at birth. And so it's not something that she did or you did. If the puppy was blind, and it was because it was congenital, then she'd be entitled to her money back. But you want to keep the puppy, apparently.
Oh, I love her very much. I just thought reasonable is half my money back for an animal that's not what they claim to be.
You
They
can't
said
have
she-
the animal and your money back,
claim.
unless is there a diminution in value?
Is there a diminution in value?
Yes.
The value is that it's not a sighted dog that I was going to be able to breed and stuff, so she's not of that value
I
that
didn't sell her
that
for
I was
breeding.
verbally
Wait.
contracted that I was buying a healthy puppy. So
Did
she's
you buy
not,
it for breeding purposes?
not when I bought her, but within a week, everybody, my mother and everybody fell in love with her, and I thought I will breed her and give her to family. But then when she's blind, it's like no chance.
Well, she isn't totally blind.
Yes, she is totally blind, totally. She does not react to flashlight or any kind of light whatsoever.
Well, you told me.
And I have pictures to show how her eyes glare. She has a green
Let me
look.
see the pictures.
This shows what her eyes glow, and that vet says that's what happens when they don't have any vision whatsoever.
Do you have a vet bill?
Do I have the vet bill?
Yes.
I have the one, yeah, I do. I have the receipt here, and I have the bill there. That's for the specialist.
You have a bill for $85. Is that it?
That's for the eye specialist.
What was the other bill?
It was 15 at the regular vet,
15?
the regular vet,
So it's $100 total?
right?
Sir, you have anything to add to this?
Well, we have, the only thing I would mention is that we have golden retrievers as well. And a lot of times when our golden retriever has pretty much attacked the little dog, and her golden retriever stays with that dog. And when you shake them, you can cause problems like that. So,
Well, I have a
Do
letter.
you have anything from a vet that says that if a dog is shaken, that it'll cause blindness?
Well, I have a letter from a breeder that she stated that has seen cases like that, as far as, and and here's a copy of her contract because she is a breeder and I'm not. So, there comes with guarantees, and I never claimed.
But this
you
is
know,
a verbal
that,
contract, the same as I went and bought a refrigerator at a department store.
Yeah, but if you
I
went
don't have a
ahead-
written contract, but if I take it back, they'll either give me some money off my price or they'll take it back. So a
Well,
verbal
this is
agreement.
a dog. This isn't an appliance.
But it is a verbal agreement of something
Yes,
I
that's
purchased.
right.
Wait a
but-
minute. That's enough. I asked you if you have anything from a vet to indicate that shaking a dog will cause blindness.
no.
Thank you. You have anything to tell me, young lady?
You speaking to me?
Of course.
Young lady.
Aren't you the youngest
Thank you.
one here?
I've been around this puppy ever since my daughter purchased it, and everything she says is true. In fact, I've babysat this puppy, and it has to be watched constantly unless it's in its crate.
Anything else? We'll take a short recess. I'll come back.
Did
to
you ever see such a precious
Pardon me?
puppy?
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
What I think has been forgotten in the dialogue between the parties and the, should we call it antipathy, anger, is the fact that neither one of you are in bad faith. This defendant may have sold a dog that was blind, but I don't think she knew it at the time. And irrespective of the fact, and I don't think the plaintiff did anything to cause the blindness. The dog had a congenital condition, and therefore the defendant is liable under a breach of warranty. At any rate, under the circumstances, the plaintiff has two alternative remedies. She can rescind, give the dog back, which she could have done at the beginning when she found out the dog was blind, and get her money back plus the vet bills. Or she can keep the dog as she has done, get the vet bills plus the diminution in value of the dog. The question is, who would buy a blind dog? And if someone would, what would that person pay for it? I've taken an arbitrary position that someone would not pay more than $75 for a blind dog. She paid $325, therefore she's entitled to the return of $250 plus $100 for the vet bill. So the judgment is for plaintiff for $350.
Yeah, she does have problems because she's learned my kitchen, but she'll run into the refrigerator or things like that. The rest of the house, she just knocks into things till she starts learning her way, but I'm always with her. I don't let her run free at all.
Her parents are perfectly healthy. I mean, one of her parents is papered actually, and the other's not. And then his parents, they were fine. They're fine.
Basically, she stated I needed to take it to the doctor, which I already had an appointment, and she said that it's something I had to have done to my dog. And I said, no, there's no way, because I watch her very, very closely.
You stated that you wanted to come over and show me the dog, and you did. And, you know, I asked you, you know, if you wanted to bring the puppy back, and I would give you the money back. But you
never offered me to. You had no other dogs left at all, and
but
you
I'm
never.
not gonna. I didn't have any dogs,
But
but I offered to refund the money.
I said I
to
didn't
you.
want to give her up, but I thought that it was reasonable that you should at least give me half my money back.